Gospel of Judas. Introduction. This is the secret message of judgment Jesus spoke with Judas Iscariot over a period of 8 days, 3 days before he celebrated Passover. When he appeared on earth, he did signs and great wonders for the salvation of humanity. Some walked in the way of righteousness, but others walked in their transgression. So the 12 disciples were called. He started to tell them about the mysteries beyond the world and what would happen at the end. Often he didn't reveal himself to his disciples, but would find him in their midst as a child. Jesus criticizes the disciples. One day, he was with his disciples in Judea. He found them sitting together, practicing their piety. When he came up to his disciples sitting together praying over the bread, he laughed. The disciples said to him, "Master, why are you laughing at our prayer? What have we done? This is what's right." He answered and said to them, "I'm not laughing at you. You're not doing this because you want to, but because through this your God will be praised." They said, "Master, you are the Son of our God." Jesus said to them, "How do you know me? Truly I say to you, no generation of the people among you will know me." When his disciples heard this, they started to get angry and furious, and started to curse him in their hearts. But when Jesus noticed their ignorance, he said to them, "Why are you letting your anger trouble you? Has your God within you, and his stars become angry with your souls? If any of you is strong enough among humans to bring out the perfect humanity, stand up and face me." All of them said, "We're strong enough," but their spirits weren't brave enough to stand before him. Except Judas Iscariot, he was able to stand before him, but he couldn't look him in the eye, so he looked away. Judas said to him, "I know who you are and where you've come from. You've come from the immortal realm of Babylon, and I'm not worthy to utter the name of the one who sent you." Then Jesus, knowing that he was thinking about what's exalted, said to him, "Come away from the others, and I'll tell you the mysteries of the kingdom. Not so that you'll go there, but you'll grieve much, because someone else will praise you to complete the 12 elements before their God." Judas said to him, "When will you tell me these things? And when will the great day of light dawn for the generation?" But when he said these things, Jesus left him. Another generation. The next morning he appeared to his disciples, and they said to him, "Master, did you go and what did you do when you left us?" Jesus said to them, "I went to another great and holy generation." His disciples said to him, "Lord, what generation, what great generation is better and holier than us, that's not in these realms?" Now when Jesus heard this, he laughed. He said to them, "Why are you wondering in your hearts about the strong and holy generation? Truly I say to you, no one born of this realm will see that generation. No army of angels from the stars will rule over it, and no person of mortal birth will be able to join it, because that generation doesn't come from, that has become. The generation of the people among them is from the generation of the great people. The powerful authorities who, nor the powers, those by which you rule." When his disciples heard these things, they were each troubled in their spirit. They couldn't say a thing. The disciples' vision. Another day Jesus came up to them. They said to him, "Master, we've seen you in a dream, because we had great dreams last night." But Jesus said, "Why hidden yourselves?" And they said, "We saw a great house with a great altar in it, and 12 people, which say they were priests, and a name. And a crowd of people was waiting at the altar until the priest finished receiving the offerings. We kept waiting too." Jesus said, "What were they like?" And they said, "Some fast for 2 weeks, others sacrifice their own children, others their wives, praising and humbling themselves among each other. Others sleep with men, others murder, yet others commit many sins and do criminal things. And the people standing before the altar invoke your name. And in all their sacrificing, they fill the altar with their offerings." When they said this, they fell silent because they were troubled. Jesus said to them, "Why are you troubled? Truly I say to you, all the priests standing before that altar invoke my name. And again I say to you, my name has been written on this house of the generations of the stars by the human generations. And they have shamefully planted fruitless trees in my name." Jesus said to them, "You're the ones receiving the offerings on the altar you've seen. That's the God you serve. And you're the 12 people you've seen. And the animals you saw brought it in to be sacrificed are the crowd you lead astray before that altar. Your minister will stand up and use my name like that, and the generations of the pious will be loyal to him. After him, another person will present those who sleep around, and another those who murder children, and another those who sleep with men, and those who fast, and the rest of impurity, crime, and error. And those who say, 'We're equal to the angels.' They're the stars that finish everything. It's been said to the human generations, 'Look, God has accepted your sacrifice from the hands of priests.' That is the minister of error. But the Lord who commands is the Lord over everything. On the last day they'll be found guilty." Jesus said to them, "Stop sacrificing animals. You've offered them over the altar, over your stars with your angels, for they've already been completed. So let them become with you, and let them become clear." His disciples said to him, "Cleanse us from our sins that we've committed through the deceit of the angels." Jesus said to them, "It's not possible, nor can a fountain quench the fire of the entire inhabited world, nor can a city's well satisfy all the generations, except a great stable one. A single lamp won't illuminate all the realms, except the second generation, nor can a baker feed all creation under heaven." And when the disciples heard these things, they said to him, "Master, help us and save us." Jesus said to them, "Stop struggling against me. Each one of you has his own star, and of the star's will, what belongs to it. I wasn't sent to the corruptible generation, but to the strong and incorruptible generation, because no enemy has ruled over that generation, nor any of the stars. Truly I say to you, the pillar of fire will fall quickly, and that generation won't be moved by the stars." Jesus and Judas. And when Jesus said these things, he left, taking Judas Iscariot with him. He said to him, "The water on the exalted mountain is from." It didn't come to water the well of the tree of the fruit of this realm after a time, but came to water God's paradise and the enduring fruit, because it won't corrupt the generation's walk of life, but it will exist for all eternity. Judas said to him, "Tell me, what kind of fruit does this generation have?" Jesus said, "The souls of every human generation will die. However, when these people have completed the time in the kingdom and the Spirit leaves them, their bodies will die, but their souls will live, and they'll be taken up." Judas said, "What will the rest of the human generations do?" Jesus said, "It's not possible to sow on rock and harvest its fruit. In the same way, it's not possible to sow on the defiled race along with the perishable wisdom and the hand which created mortal humans so that their souls may go up to the realms above. Truly I say to you, no ruler, angel, or power will be able to see the places that this great holy generation will see." When Jesus said this, he left. Judas said, "Master, just as you've listened to all of them, now listen to me too, because I've seen a great vision." But Jesus laughed when he heard this. He said to him, "Why are you all worked up, you 13th demon? But speak up, and I'll bear with you." Judas said to him, "In the vision I saw myself. The 12 disciples are stoning me and chasing me rapidly. And I also came to the place where I had followed you. I saw a house in this place, and my eyes couldn't measure its size. Great people surrounded it, and the house had a roof of greenery. In the middle of the house was a crowd. 'Master, take me in with these people.' Jesus answered and said, 'Your star has led you astray, Judas, and that no person of mortal birth is worthy to enter the house you've seen, because that place is reserved for those who are holy. Neither the sun nor the moon will rule there, nor the day, but those who are holy will always stand in the realm with the holy angels. Look, I've told you the mysteries of the kingdom, and I've taught you about the error of the stars, and sent on high over the 12 realms." Judas said, "Master, surely my seed doesn't dominate the rulers, does it?" Jesus answered and said to him, "Come, let me tell you about the holy generation. Not so that you'll go there, but you'll grieve much when you see the kingdom and all its generation." When Judas heard this, he said to him, "What good has it done me that you've separated me from that generation?" Jesus answered and said, "You'll become the 13th, and will be cursed by the other generations, and will rule over them. In the last days they'll to you, and you won't go up to the holy generation." Jesus reveals everything to Judas. Jesus said, "Come, and I'll teach you about the mysteries that no human will see, because there exists a great and boundless realm whose horizons no angelic generation has seen, and which is a great invisible spirit, which no angelic eye has ever seen, no heart has ever comprehended, and it's never been called by any name." And a luminous cloud appeared there, and he, the Spirit, said, "Let an angel come into being to attend me." And a great angel, the self-begotten, the God of the light, emerged from the cloud. And because of him another 4 angels came into being from another cloud, and they attended the angelic self-begotten, and said the self-begotten, "Let the realm come into being." And it came into being just as he said. And he created the first luminary to rule over it, and he said, let the angels come into being to serve it, and myriads without number came into being. And he said, let the luminous realm come into being. And it came into being. He created the second luminary to rule over it, along with myriads of angels without number to offer service. And that's how he created the rest of the realms of light. And he made them to be ruled, and created for them myriads of angels without number to assist them. And Adamas was in the first cloud of light that no angel could ever see among all those called God. And Adamas begat Seth in that place after the image of, and after the likeness of this angel. He made the incorruptible generation of Seth appear to the 12 androgynous luminaries. And then he made 72 luminaries appear in the incorruptible generation according to the Spirit's will. Then the 72 luminaries themselves made 360 luminaries appear in the incorruptible generation according to the Spirit's will, so that there'd be 5 for each. And the 12 realms of the 12 luminaries make up their Father, with 6 heavens for each realm. So there are 72 heavens for the 72 luminaries, and for each one of them 5 firmaments, for a total of 360 firmaments. They were given authority and a great army of angels without number, for honor and service, along with virgin spirits too, for the honor and service of all the realms and the heavens with their firmaments. Now the crowd of those immortals is called cosmos, that is perishable, by the Father, and the 72 luminaries with the self-begotten, and the 72 realms. That's where the first human appeared with his incorruptible powers. In the realm that appeared with his generation is the cloud of knowledge, and the angel was called Eleleth. After these things, Eleleth said, let 12 angels come into being to rule over chaos and Hades. And look, from the cloud there appeared an angel whose face flashed with fire, and whose likeness was defiled by blood. His name was Nebro, which means rebel. Others call him Yaldabaoth. And another angel, Saklas, came from the cloud too. So Nebro created 6 angels, and Saklas did too, to be assistants. They brought out 12 angels in the heavens, with each of them receiving a portion in the heavens. And the 12 rulers spoke with the 12 angels, let each of you, and let them, generation, 5 angels. The first is Yahuwah, who's called the Good One. The second is Harmathoth, the Eye of Fire. The third is Galilah. The fourth is Yobel. The fifth is Adonias. These are the 5 who ruled over Hades and are the first over chaos. Then Saklas said to his angels, let's create a human being after the likeness of and the image. And they fashioned Adam and his wife Eve, who in the cloud is called Life, because by this name all the generations seek him, and each of them calls her by their names. Now Saklas didn't give birth except among the generations, which this. And the angel said to him, your life will last for a limited time with your children. Then Judas said to Jesus, how long can a person live? Jesus said, why are you amazed that the lifespans of Adam and his generation are limited in the place he's received his kingdom with his ruler? Judas said to Jesus, does the human spirit die? Jesus said, this is how it is. God commanded Michael to loan spirits to people so that they might serve. Then the Great One commanded Gabriel to give spirits to the great generation with no king, the spirit along with the soul. so the rest of the soul's light, the chaos. Seek the spirit within you, which you've made to live in this flesh from the angelic generations. Then God caused knowledge to be brought to Adam and those with him, so that the kings of chaos and Hades might not rule over them. Then Judas said to Jesus, "So what will those generations do?" Jesus said, "Truly I say to you, the stars complete all these things when Sacklas completes the time span that's been determined for him. Their first star will appear with the generations, and they'll finish what's been said. Then they'll sleep around in my name, murder their children, and they'll evil and the realms, bringing the generations and presenting them to Sacklas. And after that will bring the 12 tribes of Israel from, and the generations will all serve Sacklas, sinning in my name. And your star will rule over the 13th realm." Then Jesus laughed. Judas said, "Master, why are you laughing at me?" Jesus answered and said, "I'm not laughing at you, but at the error of the stars, because these 6 stars go astray with these 5 warriors, and they'll all be destroyed along with their creations." Then Judas said to Jesus, "What will those do who's been baptized in your name?" The betrayal. Jesus said, "Truly I say to you, this baptism which they've received in my name will destroy the whole generation of the earthly Adam. Tomorrow they'll torture the one who bears me. Truly I say to you, no hand of a mortal human will fall upon me. Truly I say to you, Judas, those who offer sacrifices to Sacklas, everything that's evil, but you'll do more than all of them, because you'll sacrifice the human who bears me. Your horn has already been raised, your anger has been kindled, your star has ascended, and your heart has strayed. Truly I say to you, your last, and the thrones of the realm have been defeated. The kings have grown weak, the angelic generations have grieved, and the evil they sowed is destroyed, and the ruler is wiped out. And then the fruit of the great generation of Adam will be exalted, because before heaven, earth, and the angels, that generation from the realm exists. Look, you've been told everything. Lift up your eyes and see the cloud with the light in it, and the stars around it, and the star that leads the way is your star." Then Judas looked up and saw the luminous cloud, and he entered it. Those standing on the ground heard a voice from the cloud saying, "The great generation," and Judas didn't see Jesus anymore. Immediately there was a disturbance among the Jews. More than their high priest grumbled because he'd gone into the guest room to pray. But some scribes were there watching closely so they could arrest him during his prayer, because they were afraid of the people, since they all regarded him as a prophet. And they approached Judas and said to him, "What are you doing here? Aren't you Jesus' disciple?" Then he answered them as they wished. Then Judas received some money and handed him over to them.